Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to February's How to Kill a Kit with Style. So, my friends, let's hope that I can do an awful lot of a better job in February than I did in January. But as I mentioned in my wrap-up, I am going to get that lovely tea shop book layout done this month for sure, because I really want to do it. And so I've not really put away all of my How to Kill a Kit from January. I'm keeping it around, and we'll see. I might be popping in a few of those layouts because I really did not do the kit justice, and I did not do the series justice, my friends. So let's hope I can do better in February. And February's theme is vintage. Now, and that is open to all sorts of interpretations, whatever vintage is for you. Now, I can't wait to see Katie's from Scrappy Sisters, because in the group, she said, you know, yes, I'm in for this month, but I have a rather different or odd or fun interpretation of vintage. So I can't wait to see what she does. Now, some might, go very distressed and the Tim Holtz kind of things, and into the neutral colors, a little bit more into the browns or the sepias that might go with photos from, their parents or grandparents. Now, I'm not sure at the moment what I want to do from a photo point of view. I have this massive box of photos that when I moved Mom, I brought all her photos here, and I've not had much of a chance to go through. I did, pick one to make an album for her for one of the trips that she did just after my stepdad died, so that she would have a little something. But I really have not had much of a chance to go through that. So I may take a page out of the lovely Kathy from Scrappy Kathy. She's got the 12 box project going on, which is just amazing. Have you been watching that, my friend? Have you been, following along with that? You must. If not, I'm going to put her channel down below as well. So I might go in and get some of those photos, although what I have here is what I think, for me, I'm going to call some vintage type supplies, although because basically they come from Simple Story, Simple Vintage collections for the most part. So I said, okay, there you go, that's vintage. It's in the title, so it must be. But it means to me also elegance, and these collections always mean elegance to me. Some beautiful shades of color. So I've got pretty much, I put quite a few of the collections that I had been using this year. I worked with Simple Vintage Indigo Gardens, Weathered Garden, and did I do anything else? I'm not quite sure, but I put those together, and I'm bringing these back out for this month. So I have a full bag of scraps here from both collections, the Simple Vintage Weathered Garden as well as Simple Vintage Indigo Garden. I even have a piece here from a Simple Stories, I think is it one of the family, Hearth and Home, that I think could go with vintage. Beautiful. So I've got tons and tons of scraps here, because I did use quite a bit of these collections. Weathered Garden, I hardly have anything left. I don't think I have any paper other than the scraps that are in here. So this will definitely be a fun layout to do. A couple of little cardstocks here as well. Now, you see Indigo Garden, I have some of, because I got the Essentials kit as well. So I have the Meadow and Primrose. This would be the Meadow. It's got a nice little distressed look on the back, together with here the Meadow. So you see now quite frankly, those are, what do I have here? This is cardstock. So these are the only papers that I have. I'll bring this back in a sec. So these are basically all of the papers that I have. So I went into my stash and I thought, you know, I'm going to go and try and find something that I think I could use with this. And I've got some of these gorgeous papers from Maha that my lovely, lovely friend Karina brought to me when she came here to meet me. So this is from 2013, Maha Design. Sofiero, I think, is the name of the collection. And Exuberance of Flowers in Bloom is this paper. And look how beautiful that is. And that, to me, is definitely vintage. But I think I can use some of this with maybe some of Julia and Adela's photos, as well as maybe a couple of photos, go back and do a couple of photos of when I was young. That's vintage. Me young was like 45 years ago. So that's vintage, and of my mom and her family maybe. So I do love that. I pulled in, this is sort of like a wood grain on that side, but I pulled in this Simple Stories just out of my stash. I sort of had it in my large scraps. It's a winter one, but look how lovely it goes with this Maha Design paper, which is the Elegant Wine House. So that, they go beautifully together, and they also go well with the Meadow paper. So I think that is already a fun little kit. And then I also have this ephemera. So this could be cut apart. I'm not sure. I might use one or two of the florals. I don't see that I would have a use unless there is one photo I'm thinking of my mom, which is a large photo, which I might take a photograph of and reduce. And it's lovely. And her hair, it's probably, I would say, judging by her, it's probably late 40s. She's probably, because my mom was born in 1928, so she's probably early 20s, so late 40s, early 50s. But she's got a lovely hairstyle with just little pearls. It's just a portrait photo. So I might go in and get that and maybe use this with it. And that would definitely be vintage. But I also got this wood grain out from Color Vibe from Simple Stories that I think, now that I look at it in light though, I'm not sure, I'm not really sure that it matches. So I may have to go revisit my wood grains here and get a bit of a better match, because I'm not sure. I love these, and I know everybody gets so excited about notebook paper or ledger paper, and I have trouble using those as a background. So give me your best ideas and tips, because I do have some in my stash about using them. See, to me, this is gorgeous, but that's a difficult background for me to use. I have no idea why. It's basically just, you know, cream cardstock with lines on it. But for some reason, I find these hard. So yeah, in the light of day, I don't like these together. So I think we'd have to find, I'm going to have to go and look for another wood grain paper. So those are the papers. Those are the scraps. I do have this, I think maybe the peachy color here. I'm not sure. That might be too bright of a green. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. Then I have just a little bit left of the stickers here on the Weathered Garden. So I think I could get that killed for sure. A bit more, quite a bit more here on the Indigo Garden one though, but I definitely can do some pretty good inroads with that. Come back to that. Then I have quite a bit. You see, this is when I started talking to you about how I realized that, you know, way too much in the die cut field. Anyway, so I have the layered stickers, and see, these are maybe too layered for me, so I might take, this is fine. Anyway, so layered stickers. I have some of the chipboard that's sort of falling out from the sheet here. Well, you see, yeah, I brought, oh, see, I had the Simple Vintage Garden District as well. Look, I have like 2 birds left on here, so, and 1 little heart, so I have to get that used up, my friends. I have some of this chipboard left with bits here that sort of fell out. I have like a title piece and 1 heart left here, so why did I even put this back in my stash? I don't know. I don't know, my friends. Oh, another little scrap. I had gotten 2 sets of the decorative brads from Indigo Garden, so we'll get that used up. The chipboard clusters. This is also something that, if you recall, I've come to the conclusion, these are too big for me to use. I mean, they're lovely. I have used, let's see, how many have I used? I have 1, 2. I have 2 of these really, really large ones and the floral. So I used 1 of the very large ones. I did use the smaller ones except for 1. But you see here, these 2 big ones are still there. But I did use 1, so I'll try and use these. But this, I have observed and realized that these are not something, the chipboard clusters, not worth it for me to buy. And quite frankly, I'm not sure about the layered stickers either, although they are dimensional. Not sure. And then I have these 2, because I bought both the ephemera bits and pieces and the floral ones, I think. They both do, yeah, floral bits and pieces. So I have a lot. Now, the lovely Sandra sent me, and they are ephemera, so we're going to have to see the ephemera from the Simple Life. And if you saw, I did use, oh no, you're going to see that. You're going to see that in my groundhog. But I did use already a couple of these, but we'll have to see. So that is a lot of goodies. But you can see right here how chipboard, decorative brads, dimensional things are what I gravitate towards. Now, what I have not put here, and that I will add as I go along, of course, are my favorite stash embellishments. So Bramble Fox, perspective pieces are not here. My sequins, I have not chosen my sequins. I did have a couple of sequin. There are some sequin mixes. Is it English Garden? I think that Sarah did. And I think I got a couple of those. I may have used 1, but maybe I put the other back in my stash. I must go and find that. So I've not put my sequins. I've not put my Bramble Fox goodies in there. My Nicole Jones 911 Digiprints. I've not got those in there. And I've not put any flair in here either. So those will get added. So there you go, my friends. Make sure you pop on down below and see what everybody else has for you for their How to Kill a Kit for February. Wish me luck and cheer me on to do a much, much, much better job than I did in January. Thanks so much for being here, my friends, and I will see you back here very, very soon. Bye for now, friends.